Hello, cosmic adventurers. You are in for a very stormy treat today. It is episode 64 of Twitchy Tuesdays. And when I am recording this, we are being blessed by a massive thunderstorm. So you may hear a little bit of thunder in the background. That the pups here, they're a little timid with the thunders. So we'll see how this goes. But today, episode 64, this thunder, this energy, this amazingness is going to just layer into our conversations where we are exploring Gemini season and the illuminating insights brought forth by the Sagittarius full moon. In our Zodiac Spotlight, we will reflect on the conclusion of our last series of fortunate events with our friend Mars. And we'll take stock of the actions by Venus, Mercury, the Sun, the Moon, all of the things that have happened during this series. Let's embrace the duality of Gemini and encourage Kaiwo Kabiesi Shango to continue to bring forth that lightning and thunder, harness the adventurous spirit of Sag, and uncover transformative insights together. Make sure to tune in and stay tuned in for the very end, where I have some awesome quotes for the Twitchy tip of the week. All right, time to get our brooms out of the broom closet. Let's head over there right now. Here we are. So, for those new to my channel, welcome. And for those who have been here before, thank you for joining me again. Here we are cleaning out the broom closet. And today, 514, nothing. Okay. That is great because look at the rest of the week. We need the nothing and nada to start off our Twitchy week, which starts on Tuesday, because the rest of the week we have a bunch of movement. So 515, Sirius retrograde or stations retrograde in Capricorn. That's going to happen at 21 degrees, 33 arc minutes. The same day Mercury stations or ingresses, excuse me, into Taurus. Both of those events were covered in episode 63 if you want to know more about them. On 516, Chiron in Aries squares Sirius retrograde in Capricorn at 21 degrees, 32 arc minutes. Pallas Athene will head into Scorpio. That was also covered last episode. And Venus in Taurus will trine Sirius retrograde in Capricorn at 21 degrees, 32 arc minutes. That all happens on the 16th. On the 17th, Mercury in Taurus, newly into Taurus, is going to square Pluto retrograde in Aquarius at 2 degrees, 3 arc minutes. On 518, Venus conjuncts Uranus in Taurus, 23 degrees, 24 arc minutes. On that same day, Pallas Athene, who is retrograde in Scorpio, freshly in Scorpio, will trine Neptune in Pisces at 29 degrees, 24 arc minutes. And we will have the Jupiter Cazimi, the Jupiter Sun conjunction, occurring at 28 degrees, 18 arc minutes of Taurus. Take a breath after all of that. And we've still got 2 days to go. So the 19th, the Sun in Taurus will oppose Pallas Athene, retrograde in Scorpio, 29 degrees, 7 arc minutes. The Sun will then sextile Neptune in Pisces at 29 degrees, 26 arc minutes. And as the Sun is playing around, Mars will get and perfect his conjunction with the North Node in Aries at 14 degrees, 57 arc minutes. That is right. Mars is home. He makes it home from his journey. He is in his kingdom. And then we round out this whole week with a whole shift in energy heading into Gemini season. Happy birthday to all the Geminis out there as we get into your season. So 520 starts Gemini season on the same day. Pallas Athene retrograde in Scorpio will oppose Jupiter in Taurus at 28 degrees, 47 arc minutes. Woof. We got it. Made it. Here we are. I already had some cards fall, so I just want to present the cards. You can kind of start feeling in and getting your own intuitive hits. First card out was the moon. We've seen this card over the last couple of either whether that's the live reading or in some of our Twitchy Tuesday conversations. We also had the Queen of Cups, who was ever present in episode 63. So there is that. And we just are hearing the rain starting. We also have death. Now, this death is a very interesting card. Like the um look at all of the like imagery in this with death being on a pure white stud horse. You have the king down here who's been taken off of his throne. You have the Pope advocating and trying to placate death. And then you have a young mother and child here. So this is a very powerful imagery and meaning. And if you look, first off, look at the moon. You see the twin towers here, the gateway. What do you see back here with death? So we're all within the same storyline, the same story occurring, the same story unfolding where the queen sits. Maybe this queen is this woman right in here. And then we end with the Seven of Pentacles. So we'll see how all of these cards play out as we get through our Zodiac Spotlight as well as our chart Chronicles. I've still got cards. I still got the deck here. If you know, the ancestors, thank you for always speaking to us and speaking through us, ancestors, as we walk and fulfill our destiny paths, as well as doing the work that you left on this planet for us to do. We thank you so much. Little nod to the ancestors as we begin to dig into these energies and look at these cards. So let's head to the Zodiac Spotlight. All right, here is what we are going to cover. We are going to review our last series of fortunate events, Gemini season, and Venus in Gemini today. So, our last series of fortunate events, this is the conclusion. This is Mars. And this is a journey that we've been on for multiple weeks in a row, multiple episodes in a row. And really, I don't want to go back and rehash the entire journey. We've kind of been doing that through each episode where we've touched on this series of fortunate events. Instead, in true Mars fashion, I want to focus on what we're going to do, what we now are at, because now Mars is home, right? We've been waiting. Mars was on sovereign land, landed at the ocean on sovereign land, taking horseback for 2 weeks to get to his actual seat, his throne, his kingdom, wherever these pillars are. That's what he was working for. By the light of the moon, Mars, like I'm just hearing the story unfold. By the light of the moon, Mars races home on his trusty steed and is now, again, the last meetup. We had Mercury, but we also had Venus, seeing what has become of his kingdom since he has been away for so long, seeing what Mercury, Venus, the sun, the moon, what did they all do? He's read the letters, right? He has some sort of insight. He has intuition and knowing that things have occurred. He is not walking back into the same kingdom he left 2 years ago. He is not walking into his kingdom the same king he was 2 years ago. He has a little more insight. He has a little more emotional capacity. What am I trying to say here? Emotional acumen, like where emotional intelligence. That's the word that I wanted to use. Hello. Has a little more emotional intelligence. There has been things that he has gone through on this 2 year journey. There are deaths that have occurred. There are transitions that have happened. He is not about to resurrect the past. This king here, king be dead. Old Mars is dead. He is not resurrecting this old, worn out king that could no longer lead and be the sovereign of the people that are there today, of the land that is there today. He is now here coming back home after this journey, completely reborn and renewed. And with that brings fresh insights, fresh energy, fresh ways to do things. But what is he walking into? That's the question. Let's find out. Well, that was quick. He's walking into the high priestess. He's walking into the unknown. He's walking into things aren't all what they appear to be. You are going to need your skills. The high priestess is here saying, as this series concludes, as Mars meets up with the the North Node in Chiron, you are going to need to put your best foot forward. You are going to need the wisdom that this high priestess provides you. You are going to need the wisdom of the major arcana here. You are going to need that insight because things are not what they appear. And in order to take appropriate action, action that is going to be um, fortuitous for the long term, that's Seven of Pentacles, that is going to be balanced, the Queen of Cups, for the long term, you've got to observe. You've got to stay quiet. Be the observer. Look before you act. Interpret. Understand. How did Mercury, Venus, and the Sun do? Take stock. Take stock. Don't come in guns a-blazing. There's nothing in any, look at these cards. Nothing in any of these cards, not even death. Nothing in any of these cards that are guns a-blazing. None of these. These are all tempered. The observation, the understanding before taking action. There is not like, look, even death there. This is not a card of action. The action has already been done. Now it's time to interpret what it means. So Mars hits the eclipse degree on 5/24 and 5/25. This is the same day that Jupiter goes into Gemini. It is the same day of the Venus and Jupiter conjunction in Taurus. It is the same time frame when Venus heads into Gemini. All of these things are happening all at the same time. And what is it trying to tell you? What do you need? Again, think about, I mean, I just think about like Mars, right? Yes, this is his kingdom, but he's been gone for 2 years. So, what do you do when you want to start something new, or you're meeting new people for the first time, or you've changed and you need to reintroduce yourself? Well, from a leadership perspective, typically you shut the fuck up and you listen, you ask questions, you observe, and then you decide to take action. You may have an idea, which I love, that Mars hits the eclipse degree during the days of Jupiter going into Gemini, Venus Jupiter conjunction, Venus and Gemini, because you can get some of this information. You can have already insight, but before you take action, let's get all of the options on the table. Let's get all of the things out in the open. So, the other thing, because we've got the moon here, ever present, the moon exactly opposes Mars as he conjuncts the North Node. Exactly opposes Mars. Further solidifying this high priestess energy with the balance and harmony of action and observation that is needed in order to put the bow on top of this series of fortunate events. That moon in Libra is doing us all sorts of favors. Are you willing to listen? Are you willing to take stock? Are you willing? Like, I love this imagery in this high priestess because she also kind of reminds me of judgment. It's like, who did you get today? Did you get the high priestess or did you get judgment? And it's this dualistic nature of both. Hello, Gemini. Hello, my Libra air. It's this dualistic energy of both that allows you to go on both sides, gather all of the information, take these twin towers and understand what each one has to provide. What are each of these pentacles trying to tell you? Because this is what is actually in the kingdom. What is this trying to tell you? What are you trying to cultivate and create now that you're back home? The roots are there. You've got everything that you need. What's next? All right. That is our conclusion of our series of fortunate events. We love that. That was such a wonderful, like, all around story. We brought in the Taurus clusters. We brought in thoughtful insights with the Saturn sextiles. I'm loving these little like series of different types of transits and events that kind of take place over time and just following that journey along. Again, all of this information is in past episodes, but if you want shorter formatted videos, if you go into the Sabian Exploration playlist on YouTube, on my YouTube, or in my highlights section, if you are watching this on X, you will find each of those series of fortunate events that occurred way back in March and has brought us here into May. All right, let's move on to Gemini season. So let's level set at what Gemini season looks like. Okay, all of these. Thank you very much. Appreciate your energy. Let's see what else we got. All right. 523 is the first event in Gemini season. So 520, the sun ingresses into Gemini, starting Gemini season. 523, we have the Sagittarius full moon, which we're going to talk about today. And then we have Venus in Gemini, which we're going to talk about next. 525, Jupiter heads into Gemini. 6-3, Mercury heads into Gemini. Noticing the last of our clusters for the year, all of this wonderful Gemini energy. On June 6th, we will have the Gemini new moon. On June 8th, Mars will head into Taurus, getting out of his home sign and then covering the ground that has been laid over these Taurus clusters and this Taurus season. And then on 6/17, which I can't wait to talk about in a future Twitchy Tuesday episode, which will happen sometime in June, probably in the beginning of June, we have this amazing pairing of Venus and Mercury meeting up and then heading into Cancer together. Delicious. Love it. And then we round out Gemini season on 6/19 with Vesta heading into Leo. And then we will have the summer solstice. Yep, it's time. Wait, summer and winter. Yeah. Hold on a second. Where are we at? Um, it's a beautiful time. We transition into Cancer season. So that is what Gemini season looks like. Let's talk about Gemini energy, and I'm going to start shuffling the cards. I am a Gemini rising. I have Mercury in the third, depending on what type of house placements you use. And I'm very mercurial. I love Gemini energy. I've got a stellium in Sagittarius. So, here we roll. So, Gemini energy is very inquisitive. This is the question makers of the zodiac. So, when we are transiting in Gemini, when Gemini energy is present, it allows us to ask better questions. It allows us to um start our curiosity in the head, where Leo lets us begin to take that curiosity and apply fire to it, apply fuel to it in what we can do with it. Because Leo kind of always aligns with childlike wonder, with curiosity, but it starts with the Gemini inquisitiveness. And okay, let me put that in my brain. What can I do with it? Gemini, being a mutable air sign, is very adaptable, very eager to learn. Two of Wands, very eager to learn. Look at the dualistic already coming in. We're going to get there. Very eager to learn and explore new ideas, new perspectives, new experiences. They're one of the signs that can, kind of do it all, right? Like they want to learn more. Two of Wands, they want to learn more. They want to engage more. They want to see things in a new way. They want to take this step on that new journey. Gemini associated with short-term travel. There's new adventures that await. They may not be the grand adventure, but they're the adventure before the grand adventure. And they're just as important because Gemini energy utilizes all of this Two of Wands in order to be a catalyst during the rest of the round of the zodiac for self discovery, personal growth, spiritual enlightenment. Here we go. Spiritual enlightenment, the Hanged Man. Woo! No, I think this is Justice. I was going to say Queen of Swords, but I think this is Justice. Sitting here, right? So we've got self discovery in the Two of Wands, we've got personal growth, and we have spiritual enlightenment in the Hanged Man. Here we go. That is all question. That's all what we use the questions for. It's all what we use our adaptability for. It's all what we use our experiences for. It's all what we use learning and growing for, and the perspectives and being able to hold multiple ways of thinking about things on the same thing. It's that devil's advocate energy. It's the I know what I believe, but that doesn't mean I won't go and explore with you down a pathway that's different than my own beliefs. Because maybe my beliefs need to change. It's a great thing about being human. We can change our beliefs. And Gemini knows that. We love that. So, and this is now getting into our whole Sagittarius moon conversation, which is powerful. This moon is powerful. So, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, intellect, and expression. Gemini, people that are born with Gemini energy or Gemini rising or have a lot of strong Gemini energy in their chart typically are witty, eloquent with their words, articulating and the ability to articulate their thoughts really well. Their ideas come in with clarity. They're able to push those ideas with clarity out into the world. And there is a level of precision, like they know where their words land and they know how to land their words. The symbol of Gemini is the twins, and it represents that again dual nature that characterizes Gemini itself as the zodiac sign. The duality of Gemini individuals, it's this having this distinct two personalities, two ways of thinking, um, switching between different roles, switching between different interests that have nothing to fucking do with each other, but somehow land together and are leveraged together and in the most spectacular ways, and doing all of that with ease. Some of this can come out, just to give examples for those that are like, what the fuck are you even talking about? That is banana sandwiches. That's bizarre. What do you even say? Gemini energy is like being extroverted and introverted all at the same time. Hi, hi, my name's Maloney. I'm a Gemini rising. I love extroversion. Like I definitely like being extroverted for sure. Um getting that's how I refill my cup is having energy in exchange with others. It doesn't have to be large groups of people. It could just be me and my husband, me and the dogs, but exchanging of thoughts and ideas is definitely how I fill up my cup. However, I also am an introverted individual, meaning there are also times where I need not, it's not every day like a true introvert, but there are times where I just need to go and lay down in my bed with all of my clothes on because I have over people. I have over extroverted. And I need to be in my space. I need to be in my bubble. I don't want music on. I need to refresh myself. Gemini's analytical and intuitive. You can be both. You can be very blue. You can see all of the data. You can understand the data. And guess what? You can also know how your intuition is telling you to interpret that data, telling you to go deeper, telling you a little bit different insight, layering on another piece of that. Logical and emotional. Hello. Yes. I very logical doesn't mean I won't cry about it. Doesn't mean I don't feel deeply. Doesn't mean that I'm like, dude, I'll burst into tears. It's wonderful. I love it because it layers on something new. And that's what Gemini is all about. And that can be, by the way, all of that can happen in one conversation with a strong Gemini. We love that. Please let us like, fuck just happened to me. That, hey, hi, you met us. Gemini individuals are absolutely natural communicators. They possess remarkable ability to engage in conversations. And it's not just conversations with, I mean, yeah, like I like to have conversations about topics I'm interested in. I think that's just normal, right? For a human being. However, I love learning from people that have nothing to do with anything that I know. Um, engaging in conversations that are like with people that like, dude, that's not even in my fucking wheelhouse. All walks of life. You know about, hold on, I got questions for you, right? That inquisitiveness. Questions for you. Tell me more about that. Um, they possess like this, excuse me, so the dualistic nature can help very much so in adapting their communication style as they're talking to people from all walks of life. It allows them to adapt to different situations, making conversations be still very rich and rewarding. Even if maybe you guys don't even speak the same language. I've had those experiences. That was one of my most amazing and learned experiences when I went to China was I walked away from that, even though this was known, but I walked away with the deep understanding that we are literally all human. We are literally all one. And no matter where you sit, no matter if you speak my language or have my cultural similarities, it doesn't matter. A smile, being grateful, being a human, being willing, being able, being inquisitive, just being nice can get you so far, and that translates no matter where you are in the world, no matter what language you speak, no matter what cultural background you come from, no matter any of your demographics. Get them all the fuck out of the way. It comes back down to the basic principles of being nice, being kind, being grateful, being curious. And like just living from that heart center. That was my entire 3 weeks in China, by the way. That's what I took away from the whole thing. It was fabulous. So Geminis also are very known, and from an energy perspective, since we're getting into Gemini season, for their versatility, adaptability, and ability to navigate various roles, situations, and challenges. So this is a wonderful time when we have heavy Gemini energy, which again, I know this starts in May, but really this energy gets going in June, where you can apply a lot of versatile, adaptable, navigation to all of the challenges that may be present currently in your life. And doing so in a way that maintains optimism, maintains balance, maintains, like, just brings forth this energy, right? Ease and grace, curiosity. What did we say this one was? Where is it? I'm sorry, personal growth, self discovery via curiosity, personal growth, spiritual enlightenment. That's what Gemini wants to do, wants to take all of the things for these three purposes. So there is a really great catalyst during Gemini season for variety and change. It's a great time to change some things up, look at things from a new perspective, the hangman. Um, it's a great time to have that curiosity. Maybe that's how you change those things up. So, curiosity in exploring new interests, engaging in diverse experiences. Again, that short term travel, connecting with different people, going to a book club that you've never been to, going to a social group that you've never been to. I could be a gazillion different things. Doing a retreat that you would never go on or never thought that you would go on, etc. And while Gemini's curious and adaptable nature can be a source of stimulation and growth, especially intellectually, there is with Gemini, and especially with all the energy in Gemini and how June is going to unravel, watch being restless, watch inconsistency, and watch for the tendency to scatter your energy and focus. Now, as a Gemini rising, I have had to learn through practice how to curb my restlessness, my inconsistency, and scattering my energy and focus. For others who may not have a bunch of Gemini energy or placements, but as this season comes along, you can apply your strengths. Let's say you're a Saturn ruled individual. Well, you can apply your strengths to still allow for that curiosity and the adaptability, the movement, allowing for all these three things to come through, but not using Saturn, using your own natural inclinations to help you keep that energy focused, to not let it scatter out in the air like the wind, and to keep you moving in the direction that you need to move. Now, this is why I also feel that, well, I love that the first like week and a half of Gemini season still has incredibly prominent Taurus energies in it. Because I personally feel like if we got into Gemini season in this year after this year that we have had so far, I think we would run amok. I think it would be like too much scattered energy, too significant of like explosion in the air that I think it would kind of throw off a lot. But with all of the Taurus energy present as we get into Gemini season, I feel that Taurus slow and steady pace is going to help us enter into Gemini and use Gemini energy and Gemini season for everything that we need to, for the most abundant way that we need to. All right. That is where we are at for Gemini. And we are going to briefly talk about Venus and Gemini before we get into this chart Chronicles and talk about really this like highlight of Gemini, highlight of May outside of the Jupiter transit. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Is this Sagittarius full moon. So, ooh, okay, Venus and Gemini. Whoop. We got the Tower as well as the Seven of Swords. All right, Venus and Gemini, what you working with here, girl? Oh, she is pissed. Ooh, I felt that. She is like, I just motherfucking got into Taurus. I just goddamn built my castle. Damn it. I mean, Venus does love her some Gemini. Venus and Gemini is great. But man, I was getting cozy up in here. I was living my best life with Jupiter up in here. Man. All right, let's talk about it. Okay, when Venus transits through Gemini, it signifies the need for mental stimulation. Look, that's what this is right here. Even the Seven of Swords, high mental stimulation. There is something with Venus and Gemini, Venus and Taurus with all of the Taurus clusters, right? Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars is going to come up behind. Venus, Jupiter, Uranus, like hello, gambit of Taurus energies. Venus has really been treated like a queen up in here, right? Like she had the full thing going on. She was lounging by the pool with her big ass umbrella, getting fanned off by some hot AF pool boys, getting fed grapes, getting all of the yummy foods, having margaritas, having her Taco Tuesdays. Like she has just been living her best life up in Taurus. So now Venus is going to get into Gemini, going to conjunct Jupiter in Taurus right before, head into Gemini, and then boom, Taurus follow or Jupiter follows. That whole pool scene gets dissolved real fucking quick because now I'm bored. My tan is done. I don't need to get any motherfucking darker. What I need to be mentally stimulated. I need to have intellectual conversations with people. I need to make intellectual connections in relationships. I need that mental stimulation in my relationships because all of this bored ass stagnant energy, like, think about this. Man, this is even making me sad. Have you all been like at a pool party? Like, I hope people can get. Have y'all been at a pool party where you are sitting there and you're like, what the fuck are these people even talking about? Like, why are we talking about the fucking weather? Why do people only care about what, where they got their bathing suit? Like, can we not talk about like chlorine content and what's happening in this pool right now and why fucking public pools are gross as fuck and where like can we talk about the history of fucking whatever DJ is playing and his contributions to the world of music, and can we have this conversation about, oh look, it's a full moon, let's talk about the moon and like, you believe the moon is real? Like, let's get into some really funky fucking conversations. But nobody at this pool, everybody at this pool party just wants to stay like surface level and like mobbed out, like fucking zombified. There's your story. There is Venus entering Gemini. She done with her pool. She done with her pool boy. Her pool boy was cute to look at, not cute to have mentally in stimulating conversations. So when Venus is in Gemini, she encourages this even more. than just Gemini itself. She really wants that adaptable and versatile approaches that Gemini is known for to be able to be applied to love, to be able to be applied to relationships, to be able to be applied to finances, to be able to be applied to self-worth items. Um, like she just wants all of the things to go towards love, relationships, love of self, love of relationships, love of others, love of people. And she can be very, very charming, very flirtatious, very playful in Gemini. And it is a great time while all of this is happening, right? It's a great time where um she can bring forth a little bit of lighthearted and casual energy to the things that are happening. Like she does have that ability if you tap into it. Like even though all of this is happening, this tower and this seven of swords, she can bring this lighthearted understanding and casualness to it. And maybe it's just something as funny as like, look, I'm done with fucking pool parties. I'm done. Where I'm okay with that. I'm gonna go to the pool by my goddamn self. I'm going to go to the pool with me and YouTube, me and a podcast. We're going to go have a great time. She does love, and this is where I do see that a little bit of this seven of swords. This seven of swords is reminding me a lot of stagnant energy, stagnant Taurian energy, where, yeah, during Taurus season, maybe you were a little homey, maybe you were a little stagnant in your, doesn't mean that you weren't doing things, doesn't mean you weren't taking action on things, but maybe that like the variety wasn't there. So here it's breaking free of this seven of swords, breaking free with the tower, to get diverse experiences, to get romantic avenues brought forth, maybe something fun and kind of new that you've never done before. um Getting the aesthetics of life down, that could even be like getting a new haircut. I mean, we're in May, think about that, we are in May, right? Like summer's around the corner. Maybe it's time to throw in some highlights. Who knows? Um, but the mantra here, Venus's mantra, variety is the spice of life. And boy, are we going to feel this when Venus gets into Gemini and we get all of this Gemini energy and we get into June, if we are not applying that mantra in some way, particularly to the Venusian things of life, right? Our senses. Maybe that's a new perfume variety, getting a variety of perfumes, variety of aesthetics, variety of makeup, variety of lip gloss, variety of nail color, whatever. Um, for, variety of different hats for all of our masculines out there, variety of different hats, variety of different like shoes. Maybe you're not a sandal person. Now all of a sudden 2024 into summertime, you become a sandal person. You're like, fuck, I've been missing this out of my whole life. What the fuck have I been doing? Um, Variety is the spice of life here. Get out of this stuck. Get out of the stuck. All right. Chart Chronicle time. Ooh, this one's a good one. The Sagittarius full moon. I'm so happy to bring this moon to you. I cannot wait to go through this moon. I am so excited about it. Let's break it down. First off, need to get up my little paint here. All right, here we roll. So this is the Sagittarius full moon. This moon is occurring on May 23rd at 8:53 a.m. Central Time, and it is happening at 2 degrees, 55 arc minutes of Sagittarius. So let me get my shapes. Let me get this line. All right, all full moons are in opposition between the sun and the moon. So the moon is our focal point. It's at 2 degrees 55 arc minutes of Sagittarius, which this is, oh, oh, undo, undo. This is the glyph for Sagittarius right here. And it is opposing the sun in Gemini. That's right. We are at the Sagittarius Gemini access point, which is found up here. And here is the glyph for Gemini. So these are the two symbols that you want to look at in your natal chart to find out where this full moon may be pinging extra things for you. So this moon also, if you will notice, it has wonderful aspects. First off, the moon is sextiling, which is right here, Pluto in Aquarius at 2 degrees flat at this moon, retrograde. So when the moon is sextiling Pluto, the sun is also in a trine. So very, very good, very supportive energies here with Pluto to the sun, also at the 2 degrees retrograde. So we got the sextile, we've got this trine here with Pluto. Another signature of this moon, and I'm going to put it in green. Now I want orange. I'm feeling orange. Is this wonderful conjunction between Jupiter and Venus at 29 degrees. And these arc minutes are a little off because the full moon isn't on the exact, but same degree, the conjunction between Jupiter and Venus in Taurus. And while that could be enough, we even layer more of the amazing energy on by having this conjunction sextile, which is found right here, our lovely friend Neptune in Pisces. So this is the big energy signature. So you're wanting to look for Gemini in your chart, Sagittarius in your chart. You should be pretty familiar with Pluto here in Aquarius of where this resides in your chart. The Taurus energies have been working with us for a long time, so you should be very familiar with that as well as these Piscean energies. So this is the really beautiful like breath of fresh moon. That is what I really felt is I was like, fucking finally, like finally getting a breath of fresh moon up in here. Like, need this something tough. So let's talk about this Gemini Sagittarius axis to start us off with kind of residing into the story of this moon. I'm going to go back just to highlight the access point. So Gemini Sagittarius accesses. Now, if you'll recall, a couple of years ago, we had the nodes here. So, um, if you have been interested in astrology, this wasn't too long ago. We have the page. Oh, excuse me, the Knight of Cups here. Um, where the nodes came through and we really got this good indication, good taste of Gemini Sag energy, which is all about communication, knowledge, and options. That's what this access point truly brings in communication, knowledge, and options. This moon is so alive. It's so boisterous. It's so exciting. Like, we've been feeling the pressure. Like, I don't think anybody is exempt from that. That doesn't mean amazing things haven't happened to you over the course of this year so far, but there has been pressure being applied. And this moon is like the finally the ability to find some excitement to help you recalibrate, to help you recalibrate in your communication, your knowledge, your options, to help you recalibrate back to that understanding that it is truly an exciting time to be alive. It is an exciting fucking time to be alive. And maybe that's been a little lost over the last couple of months because of all of the intense energy, because of all of the pressure that has been occurring. But now, here we are at the Sagittarius moon with knowledge, options, ways to communicate about it, ways to put our feelings into some sort of cohesive words that we can share with others, ways to recalibrate and find and get excitement in there. We had the Knight of Pentacles come out. I want one more card, and the Queen of Swords. I want one more card before I kind of show these off. One more, please. Thank you. Oh, well, they did not want one more. They wanted, oh Lord, four more. Okay. All right. Well, we'll work with it. All right. Woo. Hello, story. All right. It's an exciting time to be alive. Page of Cups. I'm sorry, Knight of Cups. I keep saying page. This is a knight in this deck. Very youthful knight though, right? Kind of, I mean, maybe there's a reason why I keep saying page. Knight of Pentacles also looks like a page. It's fine. Queen of Swords. Two of Pentacles, Six of Wands, the Emperor, and the Ace of Rods. Woo! It is an exciting time to be alive. So let's look up here because we're going to paint this story. We're gonna get this story painted onto this chart. This is the energy of Aries. This is where the great Chiron eclipse happened. I thank you. They want it this way because it's a bucket. That is where the bucket of Aries energies happened in April. So if we look at this, here's these knights, right? Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. Your beliefs got rocked in April. They got rocked in April, right? That eclipse, whatever occurred in April, because this is truly like this moon is all about our belief system. This moon's all about, um, our, again, do you believe it's an exciting time to be alive? There's a lot about what we now believe to be true, what we now believe within ourself. So we are going to be focusing very, very intently on beliefs for this moon. And here we have the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. And those beliefs got rocked. When we thought we were solid, this emperor, we thought we were solid in our beliefs. We thought that we were sitting on our throne, having a grand ass time. We got rocked and got brought back down to a page, right? I know that they're knights, so they have some skill set, right? They don't look like much. They have some skill set, just like us. We aren't coming into new beliefs without having any beliefs at all. We had some pre beliefs that got rocked in April, and now we are beginning to find out, settle into new opinions, new beliefs, new ideologies that all came from this energy that occurred in April in the sign of Aries. How are we applying it to ourselves? How are we thinking about it? What are we doing with it? Again, how are we applying it to ourselves? Got the wands. How do we feel about it? We've got the cups. And what, you know, even in this, let me undo all of that. What you'll notice here is we have Mars, which is this glyph right here, sitting between Chiron and the North Node. So Mars just met with the North Node, is sitting in the middle between the North Node and Chiron, and is not yet at the 18-degree mark, which is where the eclipse occurred. We're 1 degree off of it. Okay. So just under 2 degrees, like degree and some arc minutes away from that eclipse point. So in this, it is a moon to take action on, right? Here's going to come in this Queen of Swords and this nope, don't even want to go to the Six of Pentacles. We're going to do this Queen of Swords and this Two of Pentacles here. It is a moon to take action on or know what action you will be taking to let go of the old and develop the new, or even land in the new, actually ground down into the new. But this Queen of Swords is going to cut out all of the shit. It's going to be very decisive. Like I'm feeling this Queen of Swords has a lot of, we're going to go this way, has a lot of this sort of Pluto resonance. Pluto at 2 degrees even, retrograde of Aquarius, has a lot of Pluto resonance within it. You are changing who you are. Two of Pentacles. You're changing who you are actively. This is an active card. You're actively balancing what you used to know and what you know now. You're actively figuring out how this is going to happen, but it comes from thinking about it, getting clarity of thoughts, being clear with yourself, speaking about it to yourself in a very clear and decisive manner. We are in Gemini Sagittarius territory. Your beliefs are changing. Your beliefs are changing. And that, no matter what you may be feeling about it, that is the Six of Wands. That is worthy of celebrating. You are becoming the authentic version of you. That is worth every single celebration that you can make this moon forward of grounding, landing into those beliefs. So I want to move now in this story to this sextile. Let's do it this way. Let's see what this. Oh, hello. Well, that's a little much. Let's go ahead and just bring that thickness right on down. There. Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay. Here is the sextile and the trine to Pluto, our lovely friend Pluto. We're going to go ahead and circle Pluto right here. So Pluto is all about our power. And Pluto is supportive. That's why it's in blue. It's a supportive energy. This isn't a square. This isn't coming up to like grind to a halt. Pluto is helping you. Hello, Pluto with the Emperor. Pluto is helping you to make this change. There is power in this moon. There is power in duality. There is power in understanding. There is power in change. There is power in your thoughts. You are moving from power, moving you, right? So you are getting rocked by power to becoming empowered to move. And that's what Pluto is here to help you with. Becoming empowered to move, to land, to stand on your own in your own authentic power. Stand in your own beliefs. Thank you, Pluto, our emperor. All right, now we're going to move over to the ruler of this moon, which is Jupiter. That's right. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and Jupiter and Venus are found right here. I'm just going to whoop And we're gonna, oh, nope, nope, nope. We gotta come over here. There we go. Here is our friends Jupiter and Venus. So the ruler of the moon, Jupiter, is conjunct Venus, and we know is sextiling Neptune, which is found right here. Let's get some deep ocean goodies in there. Boom. Look at that. It's like they're playing a little football game or something. Like score. Hold on, we'll just there we go. Look at that. We got our football game going. Boom. They're going back and forth. It's like that game with the little paper triangle where you like flick it and it goes into the woo score. But I don't know where that came from, but you're welcome. All right. So sextiling Neptune and Jupiter is going to occur a few days before and around this moon. So Neptune and Jupiter will start coming into this like conversation around May 21st through May 25th, even a little bit, obviously, after this moon until Jupiter goes into Gemini. So, this conversation between Jupiter and Neptune is already occurring before this moon even happens. And Venus at this moon now gets to come in and enjoy whatever Jupiter and Neptune are up to, whatever dreamscape that they're like expanding in your consciousness, she gets to come in and make it real in life. That's amazing. This energy that we're seeing is like from around that 2022 timeframe. So, what shifts and what have you been working on with the dreams that you seeded? Here's now your Ace of Rods that you seeded a few years ago that are now here coming to fruition. Or maybe that was a cycle that was closed. So now here you are again, starting a brand new cycle, starting a brand new dream, a new seedling of some sort. What are the shifts and what have you been working on with your dreams? These are all wonderful questions to be asking as you prep for this full moon and then coming into what do you believe about it? Where are your beliefs at with that? Do they need to be landed, grounded, changed, updated, whatever? So this truly, and this is why we're ending the cards at the Ace of Rods. This is when dreams become reality. This is a configuration of dreams becoming reality. And you know, you're worthy of it. That's the best part. This is where all of the work with your beliefs, your opinions, your ideologies, this is where all the work that you've been doing over the last couple of years is coming in clutch. It's paying off because you now know you're worthy of it. You now have confidence about it. You have been slow and steady. Thank you, Taurus, building something, and it's towards your long term goals. You have developed big determination, big determination. If y'all know Florence and the Machine, I love Florence and the Machine. They have a song called Big God. That's what this energy reminds me of. You need a big God. You need big determination to handle all of this and to move ahead. And now here you are, absolutely celebrating Six of Rods, absolutely celebrating because the moment has come. The Ace of Rods, the moment is here. This is the 29-degree point of Taurus, the anaretic degree. And while most planets would be tired AF here, no, we ain't dealing with most fucking planets. We're dealing with Jupiter and we're dealing with Neptune. There ain't no weakness. You are coming into this eyes wide open. Big determination, big God energy. There is no weakness as they both have enough to go around. They have enough to get Venus through that anaretic degree point. Um I definitely got the image of a rose blooming when I was feeling into these energies for this episode. Like they just planted in my mind a rose blooming. And it was this understanding that, dude, do you know how much energy it takes to fucking go from a seed to a rose plant? Lord have mighty. Like the energy it takes to go from a seed to a human, to an adult, to all to an elder, to a crone, all also like mind blowing. But let's stick with the plants here. That is a lot of energy. And when the rose bush is ready to bloom, the rose doesn't bush. Fucking sorry. I'm all out of motherfucking energy. I ain't got enough energy to bloom. Nope, we ain't gonna bloom today. No, it fucking blooms. It's like, this is what I've been waiting for. This, I've been wait. I had this dream in the dirt as I was a seed. I knew we were gonna get here. Let me shine bright. Let me get all of it going. Damn, I'm not missing my opportunity to bloom. No. Okay. This moon is also about the communication, knowledge, and options with what you will do. Because here's the thing, and here is a big thing, even out in these cards. I am so happy to celebrate you. I am so happy of your learnings. I am so happy of your journey, the thoughts you've been telling yourself. I'm so happy that you got here. I'm so happy that you've got this ace of rods. What the fuck are you going to do with it? Landing it is only your first step. One out of many. It's all about walking it now. So now that you have everything, what now that you've got your different beliefs, those have landed, you have understood, you've released during the full moon whatever you need to release to get you to this new found you, this celebratory you. What are you going to do going forward now? That's what Jupiter in Gemini is getting you into. This moon is before that. So 2 days before that. So you get this moment of clarity to have it land. It lands, and then Jupiter ingresses into Gemini to tell you, now here's what's next. Here's how to think about it. Here's how to expand it. Here's how to be optimistic about it. Because what does that walk, now that you've landed in these beliefs, what does that walk look like? And what do you need for that walk to ensure that when the inevitable roadblock, because it is not if, it is when a roadblock comes along, you don't throw yourself off as you have done before. You don't transgress back into an old timeline. We ain't here for that no more. We've come too far to come too fucking far. So that is, you know, during this moon, yes, it is about landing it if that is where you're at in the journey, but do not forget to think about what comes after that. That is also just as important. Watch overinflated fantasies. That's my only word of like caution is the word coming to my mind for this moon with this massive expanse here, sextiling our beautiful goddess Neptune. You do have the two, you've got two different versions of the goddess with Venus and Neptune here. just watch overinflated fantasies, right? That, Jupiter can come in and expand. That's the overinflation. Venus and Neptune, when they get together, is high intense fantasy land. So just watch some of that. The other thing that I heard while I was reading into this moon was the song Dream Weaver by Gary Wright. So if you've never heard of that song, highly encourage you to listen to it. It's a great song, but I heard that song kind of playing in my head as I was going through this. Oh, what happened to this? Hopefully you all saw all of that. But it is what it is. We're here. All right. So this is the point of the episode where I ask that if you are finding value in the information here today, that you hit the thumbs up or the heart, subscribe or follow, and explore our other content. And here we are at the end, my friends. The end of each episode is the Twitchy Tip of the week. This tip is random and comes to me through intuitive means, whatever way that comes. Could be a song like Dreamweaver, could be these quotes, could be conversation, could be cards. Who knows? Could be a spirit animal. Today, it is quotes. This is where we're at. We've got Gemini energy. We've got all these quotes here for us. So, my twitchy tip of this week to get through all the energies of this week, that mass amount of energies that we saw. I'll just pop it real quick in this cleaning out the broom closet. Not everything is worth fixing. Move on. As we get into this moon, as this moon begins to build, as all of these energies begin to build, Mindful Maven, I believe I got this on an X post. Mindful Maven, not everything is worth fixing. Move on. Ashe, I hear that. That resonates deep within the soul. The other one, I think I also got from X too. I'm pretty sure it was actually like a meme that had this quote in it, but I thought this quote was phenomenal. The paradox is only a conflict between reality and your feeling of what reality ought to be. Richard Feynman. I'm going to repeat that. The paradox, in quotes, is only a conflict between reality and your feeling of what reality, quote unquote, ought to be. Those are my twitchy tips of the week, everyone. May your days be filled with enchantment, your nights be guided by the stars, and your spirit forever be in tune with the cosmic dance. Keep those third eyes open, my fellow twitchy seekers. Until next time, blessed be and stay twitchy. Bye.
In the cosmic dance, where stars align, Milani guides us through signs divine, astrology secrets in the night sky, revealed in her sessions where mysteries lie.